Hi everybody! Hopefully this audio works this time because the last audio on my last speed paint was not that pretty and that's the only one I could get to work for some reason, so go figure. This is the fairy picture I talked about in Shawna's video. This is the one that I had originally drawn for her but realized very soon that I liked this one too much to let it go. So finally I realized that before the coloring stage and sending it off. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. It turned out exactly how I wanted it to. And I don't know, I love it whenever pictures turn out exactly how you imagined it, and that's this is pretty much exactly how I imagined it, and I am super happy about it, and I really hope you guys enjoy, because I learned a lot by drawing this picture and coloring it, and I did a lot of stuff I don't normally do. Like, I actually messed up on the sky. Like, I ended up starting with the wrong color, and I was like, no! It was tragic. And I placed the tree in such a weird way that, like, it looks like I didn't even color that bottom portion, but it's just how it lined up with the gradient of the sky, so yeah, that's my attempt at mountains too. I've never really done mountains in Copic before, so I actually add snow on top of them at the end, so that's... hopefully they look like mountains anyway. I swear, it's like, no matter how hard I try to break my background up, there's always one humongo like area I have to cover with Copics. I mean, it's a fairly small picture. It's a 4x6 picture, just like Shawna's was. But it's just so annoying. It's like, it seems like no matter how hard I try to break up my background and not make it a huge area I have to try and blend together, it just always ends up that way. I don't know why. It's just, that's my luck. But luckily it blended out fairly well. I tried some new things with this picture because I have my new hex chart, and I tried putting together some colors that I normally would never really use together. Like for those leaves and like the dandelion leaves and the stem and the blades of grass, I actually did 3 colors that aren't even next to each other, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I ended up using BG49, BG78, and C7 actually for those leaves, and they turned out awesome. And later on, by the mushrooms on the blades of grass, and for the trunk of the root tree thing, I actually added the blue color from the mushrooms in them to sort of make it look like they were glowing, and it turned out exactly how I wanted, and I was so happy. I am so addicted to drawing, coloring, painting, glowing mushrooms. I don't know why, it's just, I am a huge fantasy art fan, so whenever I do actual fantasy art... oh hey, my nails even match, I didn't even try that. I'm such a weirdo, okay. But I'm a huge fantasy fan, so whenever I actually draw fantasy stuff, I love adding little elements like that, and it gives it another element of like whimsicalness, whatever that word is. I don't know, that's the only word I can come up with right now because I'm just so happy with how this turned out. Again, this is one of my twisty trees that I created a series of. I created it in senior year of high school, and I've been working on it ever since. I have a piece that's actually in a museum right now, in a local museum, that's a huge painting of one of these that I actually had on my moleskin for a really long time and decided to make a big picture out of it. So it's a big acrylic painting in a museum with one of these in it. And I am super excited for February because I get to see if I won any prizes with it or not. It was on TV the other day and I was freaking out. I was literally freaking out. Austin was there and it was amazing. Yeah, the lighting in this video was weird. Like, whenever I'm recording, it looks like how it does on the screen for you guys right now. But then whenever I go in to edit it, it's like super dark. So I had to brighten everything, and that made the contrast go all weird. So These are actually pretty close to the real colors that I used. The closest I think my camera's ever gotten it to be. So, they are pretty close to what they look like in real life with the brightness turned up, but it just bugs me because I only have one white light, so it just kind of blows out like the left corner of everything. And I made the fairy with butterfly wings because I'm also addicted to butterflies right now. Don't ask me why. It's just a thing right now. I'm going through a phase. It's like puberty, but for art. I don't know anymore. It's a phase. It's like the gothic phase, but it's with fantasy items. I think that's a lot better than like going through a drug phase or something like that, you know? I was actually pretty nervous with this fairy because I just got done with the life drawing class and I had no idea I was gonna do so well in it because before this class you asked me to draw a person and it was drawing people was my worst subject in art to draw, and I could pretty much draw everything but people. And now that I took that class, I ended up coming out of that class with what my teacher called the best eye for the human figure in the class, and I'm like, how does that even work? Because that's not... I had no idea. I'm like, it was weird. It was like everything just sort of clicked whenever I started that class, and now I can draw people without even really like blinking an eye, and it's really weird. So I used a couple different references for the fairy, so hopefully they look alright. I think they look pretty good, but that's just me. Oh, and there's the glow of the mushrooms. That's like my favorite part. I love mushrooms so much. They're so cute, especially the little ones, like the ones more in the bottom right. That's like the kind of mushroom I like. I like seeing the little itty bitty, like, just little mushrooms are just so cute. And I know a lot of artists on YouTube usually color like a huge area with the color first and then like do sections that way, or like just try and do it all at once. Same stage was never my strong suit in life drawing either, so this is just always how I've colored in my twisty trees, and this is just how I did it, I guess. I don't know. I'm just so used to coloring them section by section because it's so much easier to get a smooth gradient and like sort of map out how it's all gonna work than try and blend it out when it's actually already dry. Here's me using that blue on the blades of grass. That was another experiment. I had no idea how that was gonna work either. I just kind of went with it. This was a really fun picture because I'm so used to doing stuff for assignments and worrying about getting a good grade on it, and I mean, obviously I want the best for my channel and I'm only going to put the best on here, but this one just turned out exactly how I wanted, and it was perfect. Yeah, and I realized I forgot to put it up on the top blade, so that was a problem. I always forget to like do little details like that, and then later on I'm like, shoot, that sucks. Oh, yep, there's me testing out colors and stuff, because I'm not used to skin tones at all. When I say I did not draw people, I mean I avoided them like the plague. And the hands aren't the best, I know. They looked good in the sketch, but then when I inked them, they just looked horrible, and it was really bad. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the pose and the fairy itself. I really like her. She's pretty cool, and this isn't like a character or anything. It's just a cute little fairy that I designed for this picture because I thought Shawna would like it, but then Shawna ended up not getting it. So that's that. Dem legs dough. I have to say though, like if you want to learn life drawing, for me anyway, learning the muscles first really helped. After we did the muscles unit in my life drawing class, it was like everything just finally clicked, and it was perfect. And now that's all I see whenever I draw people is just how the muscles work. And posemaniacs.com is actually a really good place because it's pretty much just the muscle of a pose. Like a pose, obviously, like it's somebody standing there, but it's all like computer generated like muscles just standing there, and you get to see how the muscles work with the poses and stuff. And for me, it just really helped me learn how to draw people, and it was pretty great. Yay, highlight time. This is probably one of my favorite parts now. I never used to do highlights, and now it's like all I do. And her dress wasn't as yellow as I wanted, so I added yellow on top that matched the daffodil, and I added white dots on it to make it sparkly. Plus dots on the butterfly, because I wanted to go for a monarch look, but not actual monarch, hence the blue to match the mushrooms. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, there's me doing the mountains. Hopefully they look like mountains. I don't live near any mountains, so hopefully that works. So yeah, that's my fairy drawing, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.